Tools, humans' best friend throughout history. Ever since millions of years ago, ancient human brains started to develop, they started making and using tools. Tools that made their lives easier. Day by day, these tools get better until we get to the Industrial Revolution. This is when human technology takes a huge leap forward, where it literally changed the world in a very short time. When electricity is discovered, it makes the Industrial Revolution that much more insane. And tools that are electric start to be invented left and right. When we get to the 20th century, a very famous man that we all know, named Henry Ford, is trying to grow his company and make it better and better. One of the problems he's having in the assembly line is it's taking too long and it's extremely hard to use the drill. The drill was advanced at that time, but it was huge and it was very heavy, so it's very hard to handle it properly. And Henry Ford wanted to make this tool smaller, but the same strength, so the employee could use it and not hurt themselves for hours on end. He knew a mechanical engineer that lived in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, a man named Arnold H. Peterson, or simply A.H. Peterson. Long story short, Henry Ford hires this mechanical engineer and tells him to design a smaller drill that's powerful but easy to handle. So A.H. Peterson quickly gets to work. After a whole lot of testing, trial and error, in the year 1918 he finally designed a drill that's small, lightweight, and easy to handle for a long period of time. The drill design that we all use to this day was designed by A.H. Peterson, and this was the first generation drill. It wasn't even called the drill back then, it was called the hole shooter, and the reason for that is he wanted to differentiate from the old drills that were heavy, chunky, and hard to handle. A drill like this was truly revolutionary because A.H. Peterson successfully put a powerful electric motor inside a small package like this drill, where it could easily be handled and used to cut holes. And that's exactly what Henry Ford wanted. But the thing is, there was a whole lot of industries around the world, especially in the United States, that were interested in A.H. Peterson's product. So it was a huge hit from the get-go. This is when an investor named Albert F. Seibert contacts A.H. Peterson to use his patented drill to start a business, and they agree. After starting the business, they decided to name the company A.H. Peterson Company. But later on they realized that this is too long and they changed the name to Milwaukee, the city that this company was established in. From the beginning in the industrial world, Milwaukee name had always been good because they made high quality tools that was quite affordable for what it was. Alongside regular small tools, they also started manufacturing industrial tools that were extremely heavy duty. If you look at any successful company, you know most of the money and resources is spent on research and development, and that's exactly what Milwaukee did from the get-go. They spent most of their earnings to make their products better and better, and to also invent new tools. And this caused a chain reaction of growth for the Milwaukee brand. The best thing Milwaukee would do is that not only would they invent new tools, they would take any old tool that had been used for many decades and make it better and better, make it higher quality, and also cheaper so anyone would buy it. This would guarantee their spot in the market because they would offer a high quality product at a lower price. In the year 1930, Milwaukee makes a huge deal with the United States Navy. The Navy realized that the Milwaukee brand is American and they design and make very high quality tools, so they decided to make a deal on to make every tool that the US Navy uses is made by Milwaukee. And in a way, this helped the Milwaukee brand to grow even further, so they can invest it into designing and manufacturing better tools. When we get to 1949, Milwaukee reveals another invention, the angle drill, something that was truly revolutionary at that time. When we get to 1952, Milwaukee reveals one of their best invention that is famous to this day, the Sawzall. They even call this type of saw Sawzall because of Milwaukee, even though Milwaukee is not the only brand that makes it. In the year 1979, Milwaukee did another innovative thing. They turned the angle grind that used to be bulky and heavy just like the old drill and made it lightweight, easy to handle, but still powerful. But you do have modern heavy-duty grinders, but we're talking about regular angle grinders. What Milwaukee did is that it allowed them to enter people's homes, so regular people were buying their tools, and it wasn't only commercial businesses buying it. We finally get to the 21st century. In this era, there's a whole lot of new tools that are now battery powered. But in the beginning of the 21st century, Milwaukee didn't come out with any battery powered tools because they were investing a whole lot of money to design and manufacture the best battery powered tools they can. And finally, 5 years later, in the year 2005, they came out with their own battery line, which was made with lithium-ion batteries, and it was a huge hit. But at this time, these power tools were extremely expensive compared to plug-in tools, so regular people weren't buying them, but commercial businesses were. But Milwaukee continued to spend money to make this battery not only better, long-lasting, but to also make it cheaper, so a regular person could purchase this tool and put it in their house. This is when they started spending more money and time into battery-powered power tools instead of plug-in or industrial tools. Don't get me wrong, they still built those, but their main focus were on battery-powered tools now. After years of research and development and millions of dollars spent, they finally revealed what they had been working on. An all-new lithium-ion battery called red lithium, which is still used to this day, and they keep making it better and better. But in the year 2011, it was truly revolutionary. At this time, it was the first time you could compare a battery-powered impact to an air impact. After this revolution took place, the competitors like DeWalt, Ryobi, or Makita started to spend money on battery-powered tools because they were being left behind. This battery really revolutionized power tools in people's homes and industries, because the cool thing about these tools is that a very professional mechanic could buy this tool, or any old Joe could buy it and put it in their house. There is no in between. Right now, Milwaukee has hundreds and hundreds of different types of tools for different places in the world. Tools you've never heard of, but it's specific for one thing, and Milwaukee builds it. Like for example, this power bank, which is somewhat of a generator. You put these ginormous battery, and you have a whole lot of power at your disposal, and you could use it anywhere without creating any noise like any diesel or gas generator. One of the most powerful batteries that Milwaukee makes is on these power banks, and it could also be found on their heavy-duty machinery. Like one of the newest machines they have announced is this concrete vibrator that uses this ginormous battery. It's like a backpack tool that goes on your back, and you have a hose that vibrates the concrete to make it set better. But this concrete vibrator is somewhat expensive because with the battery it costs $4,000. But it's also good to know that the battery itself costs $850. Usually people that buy these types of tools, they don't have a battery for each of their tool. They have a set of batteries and a whole lot of tools. So any tool they need, they grab it, and they grab a battery off the charger to use. So not every single tool needs its own battery. So right now, who owns the Milwaukee brand? Does the Peterson family still have a huge share in it? Unfortunately not. In the year 2006, Milwaukee was sold to an investment company in Hong Kong called Tektronic. But it's not like everything moved to Hong Kong. Every innovative thing and engineering and research and development is still done in Milwaukee, but the new owners are located in Hong Kong. It is interesting to note that now Milwaukee tools are not only made in the US, even though their main headquarters is there. They have different factories in China, Germany, Mexico, and Vietnam. But don't think that the quality is worse if they're manufactured in a different country. They still have the top notch. It's just that the German factory is for the European market, the Mexican factory is for the Latin American market, Vietnam is for the East Asian market, and China is for the rest of the world. Please let us know which of Milwaukee tools is the most interesting and useful one.